Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this time I'm in the large craft journal from Dina Wakley, and I have added a thin layer of clear gesso to the page. As you can tell, it does look a little bit different to the page on the left. So I'm starting off and going straight in with some black gloss spray. A little bit scary. Yeah, it's making a bold statement to start off with, but in a way it's no different to adding black paint to start off with, so no need to be scared really. So then I'm going in with mineral, and I'm using this stencil. It's called Lattice stencil, which is also one of Dina's, and I'm just adding some stenciling over the top of that black gloss spray, and you can see immediately that calms it right down, pushes it back. Then I'm popping the stencil back on in some places and just adding a little bit more paint just to create some more opaque areas. So there's a little bit of variation in the depth of the paint that's on the page. Then I'm using the permanent red violet light from Amsterdam Acrylic and the Done is Better stencil. I'm just adding a little bit of text onto my background too, with a little pop of colour. And then, because I've got a bit of paint left over, I'm then just going to add some splatters onto my page as well. Okay, so this is a stamping platform from Tim Holtz, and I'm just adding a piece of a printer paper onto there, using the magnets to just keep that in place, making sure that the lid will close, because the magnets can sometimes get in the way if you put them in the wrong place. Then I'm just lining up the stamps onto the paper, and once I've got them where I want them to be, I am then going to close the lid so that the stamps stick to the lid. And then I'm just adding some black archival ink and stamping those up, ready to close the lid again and press it down and take a print from those stamps. One of the great things about this stamping platform is that you can re-stamp over the image. So the first time you'll notice when I pop it down, it doesn't quite stamp properly. And I can just put it straight back and press it back in place. And as long as your paper doesn't move and those magnets are holding it in place, you can stamp back on it again. So you can see I've somehow managed to not stamp properly. Press it down again, lo and behold, you've got the stamped image. So it is really, really useful for that. This stamp set is called Squared, and it's from Dina Wakley. It's one of my favourite sets, and I'm going to be using the faces on these tags. So you can see the spaces of the tags are smaller than the stamps. So what I'm doing here is I'm using some washi tape, and I'm just masking off the edges of the tag, because I don't want to stamp right over the line on the edge. I want the image to finish before the edge of the tag. So this is a really useful tip when it comes to fitting a stamped image into a space that's smaller. Is just mask off the area that you want to protect. So you can use a piece of paper, you can use washi tape, masking tape. One tip that I would give if you're going to use washi tape or masking tape is to stick it on an item of clothing first, just to remove the excess sticky, because otherwise you can lift the top layer of your paper off when you remove the tape. So then I'm just lining it up. I'm using an acrylic block with the stamp on as well, just to kind of make sure that I can get a really good stamped image there. And then once I've done that, I then peel off the washi tape, and you can see that I have my image in the centre of that stamped tag image as well. And I don't know what it is about when you've got your nails done. I cannot, for the life of me, start off sellotape and washi tapes and things. I just can't do it. I just can't seem to get them up. So this is why I am faffing about a bit here. So I do apologise. It's very annoying to watch. But there we go. So you can see that's worked really, really well. So then I'm going to repeat that process, just masking off the edges of my tags that I'm going to use, and getting my image onto the acrylic block and then stamping it in place. So here you notice I've just masked off the entire top of that tag, including the tag hole, just so that my image will fit into the space that's left. I'm not particularly worried about that line across the bottom of the tag either. That doesn't really matter. You don't really notice it once you've got your image in place. And then I'm going to repeat it for this last tag, so you can see again, just watch the process, masking off the area, and then you can very easily fit your stamped image into the space. So then I'm just cutting these images out and I'm going to be adding them onto my page as my focal points. So this is a really quick and easy way to add some interest and focal points onto your page using like a masking technique with washi tape or masking tape. It really is a very easy way, and I really like the fact that on these images you've kind of got different parts of the face showing and there's bits missing, but you can still tell what they're meant to be, so it still works quite well. So here I'm just using a water brush and I'm just getting a bit of pigment off one of the scribble sticks and just adding a little bit of colour to the cheeks. Then I'm going to add a little metal eyelet to each of the tag holes on these little tags, and I'm going to use double-sided tape to stick them in place just to get the initial place where I want them to be. And then I do often go back in with a bit of glue stick or some clear glue and just stick down any bits that are poking up because they often really annoy me. I don't really know why, but they do. I think it's because they're not tidy. And things have got to be tidy. Okay, so again, you'll notice that I've used 3 images on my page. Odd numbers, as you know, work really well. And then, of course, I've got to add my dots. You must be so fed up of seeing these. I'm going to stop talking about them because I might even start editing out me doing them, because you don't need to keep watching me adding dots on my page. It is a little bit of a thing, although I do love how they look. So, yeah. There are dots on my page, and then I'm using these text stamps from Tim Holtz. They are called Noteworthy. There are some fabulous words on there, and I also really like the font as well. I do have a real keen interest in lettering and font styles, and I think collecting different letter stamps and everything is a really great way to add a different look to your journal pages. So I've used some of these stamps and I'm just kind of creating my own saying by mixing a few of the sayings together. So then we'll cut them out and they will be stuck in place on my page using some clear glue. So you notice I'm using some words and not others. Okay. So then I'm using the clear glue to stick those down, and there we go. That is my page finished. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this page that started off with lots of black gloss spray everywhere, watching how it developed using a technique to fit stamped images into a small space. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.